So I just got back from the Iowa State football game this weekend.
Please join together and let's send our support and encouragement to the kids and their families watching the game from the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital.
This is a weekend that I do with my college friends every year for the past 3 years. It's one of my favorite weekends out of the year just because we all get together and get to go to Iowa City, and it's a pretty fun town even though it's not that big, and just get to really have fun for a weekend and do something different than from the daily grind of life. So this year we actually got to go to the game, and it was an okay game. I think the final score, Iowa won. Iowa State only scored 3 points. It was, I don't know, I think it was a couple field goals and a touchdown. I don't remember off the top of my head. Because it was at Iowa, it was in Kinnick Stadium, which is right next to Children's Hospital. The Children's Hospital is actually overlooking the stadium, which is pretty cool. And they, I think just last year, started what a lot of people are calling the best tradition in college sports, known as the Children's Hospital Wave, where at the end of the first quarter, people will wave to everyone in the stadium, will wave to the kids in the Children's Hospital, and that's including, you know, the players, people on the field, everyone in the stands, and then the kids at the hospital wave back. Driving to Iowa and back 5 hours both ways results in kind of a bug manslaughter. It's not murder because I didn't try, it's manslaughter, but with that, time for a car wash. All clean. So while we're on the topic of education, being that I was at Iowa this weekend and it's back to school season, I figured now is a good time to possibly give some advice and provide some value to maybe somebody out there on a topic that I feel pretty strongly about and I feel like I have something to bring to the table. And that is the topic of how to pick your major. It's a big question when you're going to college, university, whatever. And a lot of people stress out about it because you're paying all this money to go to school, and it does seem like a massive decision at the time. And I think part of that is it's all relative to the experiences that you've had up until that point in your life, and you feel like you're choosing your career path and, you know, by signing a document and handing it off to an office administrator at your school. That's not necessarily the truth at all. It kind of depends on which field you want to go into. There's definitely certain fields that you need to have some sort of degree that is a prerequisite to go on to graduate school. So if you want to be, you know, a doctor, a lawyer, really anybody in the medical fields, there's probably some others that I'm just not thinking of. But it is imperative that you do have that degree just because you need to know very particular things. You need to be taking care of living things, and you don't want to, you want to know everything that you can going into something like that. So that leaves everybody else. What are you going to do if you're not, 100% sure that you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or an astronaut or whatever it is? And, you've maybe taken a few classes and you're interested in a few of them, but like, I don't want to fully commit to this. And, it might not seem like you have a lot of options. But to be honest, from my experience, it doesn't really matter. The biggest thing is getting a degree, getting experience while you're in college, and then getting into something to start that you enjoy, that you feel passionate about, and that you can pursue further to see if that is something that you want to do. Just a little background on my story. For essentially third grade through freshman year of college, I wanted to be a doctor my whole life. And that never really wavered. I wanted to be a cardiologist in elementary school, and then that pivoted to wanting to be a pediatric oncologist. And then I got through 1 year of school being a biology major, and that found out that it simply wasn't for me. It was hard. But more so, it was just the fact that I really did not enjoy it. I didn't like any of my classes, and it just wasn't for me. So I'm glad that I figured that out after just 1 year, as opposed to maybe going 2 or 3 years and then having to stay a lot longer. And I actually ended up being able to graduate in 4 years, and still, I almost graduated in 3.5. Which if I wouldn't have done a minor, I could have graduated in 3.5. So after I decided I wasn't going to be a doctor, I decided that I was going to go into general business, because that's where my family, had been on the business side of things. And it's, it is super general, but there's a purpose for that, which we'll get into in a little bit. And then through a couple of my classes, I discovered that I really liked economics. So I decided to pursue that further, because I had a strong math background, and it just intuitively made sense to me. And so I ended up graduating with a degree in economics, and one of the best decisions I ever made. And then I didn't have a job coming straight out of school, but I eventually found a creative internship that was unpaid with the company that I'm currently at, and that was over 2 years ago. And I had never taken a marketing class. It's for an ad agency, and I had never taken a marketing class up until this point. And it was a design internship, but I'd never taken a formal design internship or a design class learning Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, at least not since high school. And so how did I get this job, and how did I get that first internship? And a lot of that was just the fact that I had done stuff in college. I had started my own clothing line. I had done random little side projects. So I had been working on those skills all throughout college, and I had a body of work to show for it, even though none of it had been paid. And so it was enough to get into the job that I'm currently in, or at least the company that I'm currently in. I'm in a new position now, but with that position, I was able to get in and then prove myself from there. And so this brings me to kind of the whole, what I'm trying to talk about with this video, and that's the fact that it doesn't really matter what you're going to go to school for if you don't fully know. If you're one of those people that is not going to be a doctor, not going to be a lawyer, even if you're a lawyer, there's a couple of different options that you can go. And I could go and get a law degree right now if I wanted, or at least apply. So if you're one of those people that's not going to be a doctor or a lawyer or somebody else that needs a specific degree, and you're feeling lost in the world, my advice to you is to go into a general business program and figure it out from there. And whether that's graduating with a slightly specialized degree after you figure out more about what you like I did with econ, or just graduating with general business, the thing is everything is business. You're going to college to make money after you graduate. And so whether you're going to go be a freelancer, whether you're going to be a musician, whether you're going to be an architect, a financial analyst, whatever it is, you're in business. So a business degree has a lot of value to it. And how I graduated with an econ major, a business administration minor. And so how I looked at it myself is econ, or business, teaches you how business works, and econ teaches you why business works. So it was more about learning a mindset to me than a set of skills, because skills you can develop over time when you're in the middle of the work that you're doing. And that's how I've gotten to where I am now. And I feel like I've gotten really comfortable with what I'm doing, because I had the time and I have the mindset, and I can apply that to whatever I ended up going into. If it wasn't an ad agency, if I was going to be a financial analyst or a business analyst, which are some of the roles that I was applying to, I could have done that. And that goes for you too, whatever that might be. If you want to start your own business, if you want to be an actor, like you could just go and get a business degree of some sort or a general degree and go find an internship on set somewhere, doing something, and just find your way in that way. And then once you actually have that experience, it's a heck of a lot easier to, once you know people at a company, to move in and out. And I've been very lucky that with my company, it's been very fluid. I've been able to follow what my internal passions are, for the sake of the company, and it's worked out great. And I know that not every company works that way, but it is very much so easier to move within a company once you're already in, even if it's not the first role that you're in is not your favorite. So with all that being said, I hope that makes sense. If anybody has individual questions about what you'd want to do, I don't know who's out there listening, but I'd be more than happy to address them, because as somebody that I had no idea what I was going to do 2-3 years ago. I'm now 2 years in and I'm loving life. Things are great, and I feel like I could have some good advice for somebody. So that's basically what I wanted to share today. I'm hoping that there will be other times down the road that I'll be able to provide value and not just entertain. And I fully intend on having both of those elements be part of this channel as well as anything else. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, just kidding, I'm back. I forgot I wanted to say something else. After this video, I will have been 3 vlogs deep onto my channel, and I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that has shown me support, sent me messages, left comments, liked the video, whatever. I've had some really nice at-length messages just saying like, hey, like congrats on taking, going out and doing this, and follow your passion, whatever. And I don't know, it's just been very nice to have that feedback and that encouragement. And I hope that for anybody else out there that's looking to follow their dream or do something fun, do something different, that I could be that to you too. And I do try, whether it's my friends that are musicians or opening a small business or whatever. Definitely a passion of mine is supporting people and whatever their true dream is, even if it does seem ridiculous or far-fetched, or why the heck is he doing that? So really big thank you to everyone that has shown support thus far. And apparently as a YouTuber, I'm supposed to tell people to comment, like, and subscribe. So I mean, if you have that time, I would appreciate that, to play into YouTube's algorithm to further the reach of my channel. But if you don't have that time, then get back to whatever you're doing.